Imagine, for a moment, that a person from just 20 years ago could see how we interact with technology today. They would observe us walking through cities with eyes fixed on glowing rectangles, wearing devices that track our vital signs, asking disembodied voices in our homes to answer questions, and living significant portions of our lives in digital spaces. This silent revolution has fundamentally altered what it means to be human in less than a generation. The smartphone in your pocket has more computing power than all of NASA had during the first moon landing. Global internet traffic now exceeds 1 zettabyte annually, equivalent to streaming every movie and TV show ever made across global networks every day. We now produce more data in 2 days than in all of human history before 2003. This isn't merely technological change. It's a transformation of the human experience itself. Our minds now extend beyond our biological boundaries. Instead of remembering facts, we remember how to access them. Rather than navigating physical spaces by memory, we outsource spatial orientation to GPS systems. Our social connections exist increasingly in digital networks rather than physical communities. As the philosopher Andy Clark observed, we've become natural-born cyborgs. Our cognition distributed across biological and technological systems. This cognitive outsourcing has produced both remarkable gains and subtle costs. We access vast knowledge instantly but struggle to maintain deep attention. We connect across continents effortlessly but report unprecedented loneliness. Our processing power has multiplied exponentially, yet our wisdom, our ability to integrate knowledge meaningfully, hasn't kept pace. Studies from Stanford's Human-Computer Interaction Lab reveal that our attention now fragments into shorter intervals, down from 12 seconds in 2000 to just over 8 seconds today. We're developing what neuroscientist Marianne Wolf calls biliterate brains, capable of both deep reading and rapid digital skimming, but increasingly defaulting to the latter. Behind these personal transformations lies a profound economic restructuring. The world's most valuable resource is no longer oil but data. Specifically, behavioral data that predicts and influences human decision-making. 5 of the world's 10 most valuable companies now operate primarily as attention brokers, harvesting unprecedented insights about human behavior. Each of your clicks, pauses, and scrolls feeds sophisticated algorithms that build increasingly accurate models of your decision-making patterns. These models don't just predict behavior, they shape it through precisely calibrated recommendations and nudges. As former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris notes, this isn't just observation, it's modification. While digital platforms present themselves as neutral tools, their design embodies specific values. Engagement over reflection, novelty over depth, emotional reaction over reasoned response. These aren't conscious conspiracies but natural outcomes of business models that monetize attention. The systems aren't failing. They're succeeding at goals misaligned with human flourishing. The political sphere hasn't escaped transformation either. The public forum has fractured into personalized information environments optimized for engagement. Shared reality, the baseline consensus required for democratic governance, erodes as we increasingly inhabit separate algorithmic worlds. Research from MIT's Media Lab shows that falsehoods now spread 6 times faster than truths across social networks, not primarily because of malicious bots, but due to human psychology interacting with engagement-optimized systems. Equally profound are changes to identity formation. Previous generations constructed selfhood through relatively stable social roles and limited reference groups. Today's adolescents develop identity within environments designed for continuous social comparison and performance evaluation. Instagram perfect lives become the baseline against which reality seems perpetually inadequate. This transformation also manifests physically. The average American now spends over 7 hours daily on screens, nearly half their waking hours. Our bodies evolved for movement and direct sensory engagement with natural environments, yet increasingly exist in sedentary poses, absorbing mediated experiences. A growing body of research links these patterns to rising rates of myopia, sleep disruption, and metabolic disorders. Beneath these surface-level changes lies something even more fundamental: a shift in how we understand ourselves. The dominant metaphor for human cognition has always reflected the leading technology of the age. Ancient Greeks compared thought to liquid flowing between vessels. During the Industrial Revolution, the mind became a mechanical engine. Today, we increasingly describe ourselves in computational terms. Processing information, running mental programs, storing memories. This metaphor shapes how we address human problems. Mental health challenges become processing errors requiring technical fixes rather than existential struggles requiring meaning. Education becomes information transfer rather than character formation. Even love becomes an optimization problem, with algorithms promising to calculate compatibility. Facing these transformations, we stand at a crossroads. At least 3 distinct futures appear on the horizon. Economically, alternative models are emerging. Data cooperatives allow communities to collectively control and benefit from their data. User-owned technology companies are gaining scale, like the Mastodon social media platform. More fundamentally, we must reimagine the relationship between technology and human progress. Philosopher Bernard Stiegler argues we must move from disruption to what he calls negentropy. Using in one scenario, we continue our current trajectory toward what philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls digital psychopolitics, increasingly sophisticated systems of behavioral control. Algorithmically mediated reality becomes the only reality. We lose not just privacy but mental autonomy. A small technological elite controls the systems governing all significant decisions. The majority of the population, economically redundant due to advanced automation, receives basic income to consume digital content while their data continues to be the real commodity. In a second scenario, converging crises reach breaking points. Misaligned AI systems, geopolitical conflicts over scarce resources, and ecological collapse interact in cascading failures. Historian Neil Ferguson points to parallels with the collapse of the Roman Empire. Not a single event but multiple simultaneous system failures. A third path represents a fundamental redefinition of technological progress. Technologies remain powerful but are reoriented to amplify human capabilities rather than extract value. Decentralized AI assists local communities in decision-making. Social networks redesigned for cooperation replace engagement through outrage algorithms. Algorithmic transparency becomes a fundamental right. Vast processing capacity prioritizes addressing climate crises and inequalities. As philosopher Martha Nussbaum observes, the question isn't whether we'll have powerful technologies, but what human values they'll embody and amplify. How do we direct this historic transformation to benefit all humanity? We must act across multiple dimensions simultaneously. First, we must reclaim technological governance. Currently, decisions affecting billions are made in boardrooms with primarily financial objectives. We need democratic structures incorporating diverse voices in configuring fundamental technologies. The algorithmic constitutionalism, proposed by legal scholar Kate Crawford, establishes clear boundaries for technologies that may affect fundamental freedoms. We need versions of the FDA and EPA for high-risk AI systems. Institutions with clear mandates to protect public interests above private gains. Educationally, we need radical technological literacy, not just as consumers or programmers but as citizens. Understanding how algorithms shape realities has become as fundamental as reading and writing. Leading universities are implementing interdisciplinary curricula where humanities and computer sciences converge. Stanford launched its Institute for Human-Centered Studies in 2023. While MIT completely revamped its computer science curriculum to include ethics as a core component. Technology not for maximum exploitation but for regeneration of social and ecological systems. As computer scientist Joy Buolamwini expressed, technology should be a mirror reflecting the best of us, not magnifying our worst impulses. We've reached a decisive moment in human history. Technology, as always, is fundamentally an expression of human values. There is no neutral technological progress. Every algorithm, every interface, every automated system embodies cultural, ethical, and political choices. Writer Ursula K. Le Guin said, "We live in capitalism, but we don't need to limit our vision to capitalism's terms." Similarly, We live in times of technological acceleration, but we need not passively accept its current terms. The challenge isn't to slow innovation but to redirect it. As philosopher Bruno Latour suggests, we need a parliament of things. New institutions allowing us to democratically deliberate about which technologies to develop and how to configure them. Inspiring examples already exist. Indigenous communities using drones and sensors to monitor deforestation, patient cooperatives sharing health data for research on neglected conditions, cities experimenting with transparent municipal algorithms for resource allocation. This is our generational task: to evolve from an exploitative relationship with technology to a symbiotic one. It's neither about unbounded technological optimism nor technophobic pessimism, but mature engagement with the most powerful tools ever created. As individuals, this means actively engaging with the technologies we use, demanding transparency and control. As communities, it means establishing clear principles about which values we want our tools to amplify. As a society, it means creating institutions ensuring technological power benefits everyone. In the words of mathematician and poet Ada Lovelace, who envisioned the potential of computers a century before they existed, the analytical engine has no pretensions to originate anything. It can do whatever we know how to order it to perform. The future doesn't belong to machines but to the humans who determine their purpose. This isn't just a philosophical discussion, it's an urgent call for engagement. How will you participate in shaping our technological future? Start by examining your own digital life. What technologies truly enhance your humanity, and which diminish it? Take control by adjusting your digital environment. Disable notifications, use privacy tools, and regularly disconnect. Join organizations working toward humane technology. The Center for Humane Technology, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and Algorithm Watch all offer ways to get involved. Support businesses with ethical data practices and human-centered design. Most importantly, demand better from the technologies shaping our world. Share this knowledge to spread awareness. Contact your representatives about digital rights legislation. Engage in public discussions about the kind of technological future we want to create. The greatest technologies have always been those that amplify what makes us distinctly human. Let's ensure our digital future reflects not just what technology can do, but what humanity aspires to be. And if you like this content, like, comment and share it with that friend of yours who is also thirsty for knowledge.